Daniel B. Moore. I was a GMM third class. Well, I was going through a school, and then, of course, they then flew me down to Long Beach and went aboard the Topeka, and then was assigned to the 5th Division, the missile game. So, yeah, I was a gunner's mate missileman. Yeah, the ship was about 1,100 foot long, if I recall, and big, you know. We had never seen anything like that, so I hadn't, so, yeah. Well, we maintained the equipment, the loading equipment and the areas and including the launcher, which was obviously outside. So it was, you know, it was a good team, good bunch of guys. Everybody worked together. We did our job. The equipment probably wasn't the best equipment in the world, but we did our best with it, and we might have been ready if we'd ever needed to fire them. We did fire them on the practice range, but never used them in Vietnam, so yeah. They were Terrier missiles, they SAM, surface to air, and I think they were Mach something, Mach 5 maybe, I don't recall. Yeah, they were pretty good. We could hit our targets, you know, obviously the radar equipment and so forth wasn't as good as it is today. A couple years ago we had a cruiser that fired a missile that destroyed a satellite, if you recall, and the satellite was about the size of a school bus. So that was it was the grandson, I think, or maybe great-grandson of our missiles. So yeah, much higher tech now than what we had. Well, you worked with fire control, and we had honeycombs back there where we had our missiles stored, and then you bring it out on a loader. It would go in, retrieve it, bring it out, put it on a rail, send it out to what they call the wing and fin area. Where you put the wings and fold it. It was a 2-stage missile, so you had the wing and fin it. Then it went out to the launcher, and fire control took over and, you know, did whatever needed to be done at that point. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't hear much in there because we were, you know, surrounded. There wasn't any portholes in the missile house. It was pretty thick steel. But if you were up on deck, it was more like, you know, there was noise. Yeah, yeah, like a, you know, a small rocket, what they are. So yeah, made 2 cruises, 2 Westpacks, both for about 6 months. The first one we went to Hawaii, and it was called a people-to-people mission. We were supposed to go in to ports and just interact with the residents in those ports. And I played a short third and some outfield because I could run like pretty well back then. Not now. And we played in Davao. Now I'm probably mixing 2 different cruises, but we played a doubleheader in Davao, which is an island city in the Philippines. We played the local Coca-Cola team, which is the best team on the island. Played them a doubleheader, and we had thousands of people there. The stands were full, and they had a line, you know, lined up along the field. So, and then in Singapore, they have like a Boys Town, Nebraska there. We went way out in the country and played softball out there. That was it. That was fun. Well, they asked for, you know, guys who want to play, and I played high school ball and basketball too. So, and a pretty run track. So, just loved to play ball. So, but about halfway through it, maybe 2/3, we got called to Vietnam. That was when things were starting to pick up. So, but we made ports like Manila, Subic Bay. Yokosuka was kind of our home port away from home. Hong Kong, you know, Sasebo, Nagasaki. We were one of the first ships in there since World War II. Actually, it was 20 years after, you know, the bomb was dropped. There were still people with scars, and you could tell, you know, they had issues. But the interesting part was all the school teachers that brought their students down to be able to speak to Americans and speak English, yeah. So they used it as a training, a field trip. So, yeah, we had a lot of them come down to the dock when we went in. It was great, yeah. MacArthur made a huge effort to rebuild Japan. You know, it was the regime and not the people, so our country was heavily involved in rebuilding them. So, you know, I don't think there was obviously some animosity, but I don't think a whole lot. Yeah, we never had any problem. I mean, we spent money there, you know, but yeah, we made a lot of pork. We had a warrant officer who was our commissary officer that he was a Filipino, and he did an excellent job of managing the budget. So we had steak a lot, we had shrimp a lot, yeah. When I said that the other one. When I left, when I went off the ship, we were voted the best food on the West Coast shipboard in the finals with 2 ships from the East Coast for the best food afloat. It was good. It was really good. And then we went to Hunter's Point, and then we went into dry dock for 6 months up at Hunter's Point, San Francisco. So that was interesting. I only had to stand duty once every 14 days, and just not a whole lot, really, just down the way, you know, because, you know, they were overhauling everything. We moved all of our weapons off and all of our missiles. But a sad story to that, we were good friends with Danny Robles. He was a second class, and I think Jerry probably told the story too, but I wasn't there. We were coming out of the yards, and Sharon and I we were married, lived in half a Quonset hut, you know, $30 a month for a beer can. And then I brought her back to Indiana because they were taking the ship back to Long Beach. So I was on leave, and I then joined the ship, flew back and joined it in Long Beach. And I came aboard that night, and of course I didn't have a bunk assigned. And I said something to somebody, I thought, I'll just take Robles' bunk because he's probably on shore. And he had gotten killed. He had gotten crushed in the warhead elevator up before they left Hunter's Point when they were loading the weapons back on. Yeah, his wife Fran and Sharon and I ran around a lot together up there. And we lost track of her years ago. We don't know what happened to Fran. That was probably one of the saddest stories. I would say it was the saddest story that I had.